Welcome back to our sacred space. Of course, I'm always honored, excited, and elated to be in your presence. We're going to be doing a reading today, and I would like to set the intention that you do feel safe, that you feel secure, and that you feel that this is a space that you can come to in order to unwind, relax, while on your path of remembrance. For those of you that are new here, welcome. My name is Nuna. I'm here to help you transcend beyond pain and suffering, manifest and expand your consciousness by merging the arts of poetry, writing, and magic. Not only am I a poet, not only am I a writer that utilizes her gifts to bring about change in our own life, but I also utilize writing to manifest and also as a way to transmit information from the divine to my soul tribe, of course. So sometimes I'll do a reading and I'll pull messages from the reading and then include them in writing pieces. Other times it's just writing. I also want you to know that while we are doing this reading, my focus also from what I have been divinely instructed to do is to focus on which essential you may be called to work with as a result of what we have going on here, or what you have going on here in your reading. I do have an Ethereum. That Ethereum is essentially a space where I do handcraft spiritual essentials in order to help you transcend beyond pain and suffering, of course, manifest again, of course, and expand your consciousness. That's what my ritual tools are used for. I also do work a lot with astrology, tarot, but also really with my own intuition and divine guidance and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get started with your reading. So the first card that wants to come out is a sun card, as you can see here. And the decks that we are using will be down in the description box, just so that you know. And again, the first card that has come out here is the sun. Now, anytime I do see the sun in a reading, this usually points to the fact that there's something that is being seen. There's something that is obvious, but there's also something that is being brought to our awareness. Yes, it does mean success. Yes, it does mean joy. Yes, it does mean vitality. Yes, it does mean warmth, but also it brings enlightenment. So I do see that there's something where you're starting to, I just heard, actually, this definitely is the expansion of consciousness, but through ritual, through prayer, and also through celebration. So the vibe that I'm kind of getting right now is that you may be in a space in your life where you're wanting to learn more, you're wanting to know more, you're wanting to do more. And I feel like this is a decision that is going to require your full devotion. If you decided that you were going to agree to this, or that you were going to go with this after reflecting with yourself, after sitting with yourself, and you really peering into your energy and peering into who you are, know that this is the actual path for you, despite what the outside world may say to you. Now, the reason why you do see here 2 of the Lovers card is because I like to be extra at times, and sometimes I will, depending on the deck, I will definitely use more than one deck. I will use 2 tarot decks smashed together in addition to another tarot deck because I like to get a lot of messages, and that's when I really go ham on readings and whatnot. But anyway, so yes, that's the reason why you do see 2 Lovers card here. I know that sometimes intuitives really like to use more than one deck, which I love that. I really do love that. But anyway, so I do see that this is, I just heard the word study. So this is bringing me to study, and this is bringing me to celebration, but it's also bringing me to where someone graduates and then they start to enhance, or somehow them going through this other rite of passage through education is how you're able to expand your consciousness, which makes sense because when you are in education, evidently, I mean, you're learning more, right? So every time you learn more, and especially when you apply the knowledge, right, you expand your consciousness. So I feel like in this instance, I do feel though that this is a choice that is going to be made from the heart. And this is a choice that, or something that you're actively choosing that you're really in alignment with. Now, the interesting thing is that you do have here the Queen of Cups here. So I feel like this is actually pointing to the mother, right? It's pointing to the mother within you, but it's also pointing to the mother outside of you. Now, it's interesting because I feel like what's coming through is that a lot of your decisions that you made came from the mother's tongue, or your thought process has a lot to do with how you were brought up, how your mother spoke to you, how your mother laid hands, if that makes sense, whether, for positive or negative, if that makes sense. In this instance, though, I'm hearing that there's a voice within you that is saying, you know that you want to go with this. You know that this is right for you. You know that this is something that you really do want to do. So why do you deny yourself this thing? And I feel like this Queen Mother here, I really love calling the Queen of Cups Queen Mother. She's one of the Queen Mothers. And I feel like this voice is asking you, do you really want this? Do you really want to choose this? And if so, why do you deny yourself, or why do you defeat yourself before you even get started? I know that I'm somebody that I am guilty of that, because with me having so much Capricorn energy and tropical and then Sagittarius energy and sidereal, but it being in the ninth, sometimes I throw in the towel before I even start because I want to do my best, right? And I feel like it's so funny because earlier today, before I even decided to do the reading, I did hear that the divine wanted me to use my experience to kind of, show you that you're not alone in this situation. And of course, this is not going to be for everybody. But what I am hearing, though, is that if you decided to make this commitment, if you decided to make this a part of your ritual, if you decided to show up for this thing every day, being studious, writing things down, studying, right? Studying esoteric symbolism, studying the mysteries, studying whatever it is, studying the unseen, I feel like there's a lot to celebrate, because not only will you end up expanding your consciousness, but you'll also be able to see what you were capable of and how much this is going to affect your reputation in a positive way, right? I just heard the word liberation, and it's also going to help to bring liberation to you, and not even just to you, but also to your family. It's going to help to expand your family, expand your tribe, expand the space that you're in. And this is going to open up opportunities in a doorway to help you to receive more, to help you to experience more, to experience better. But it really all goes down or boils down to choice. Are you choosing this? And why are you choosing this, right? This could be a writing prompt. Why sometimes in life are we faced with these choices? And why do we have to choose to begin with? But more importantly, what am I choosing to be in relationship with? What am I choosing to show up for? What am I choosing to agree to in the most divine ways, right? And I feel like this Queen Mother here is truly asking, what do you really want? I'm going to pen this camera down. As you can see, we do have our protection candle going here, which I really just love working with this candle. And I love it because, for one, I like to put sigils on my stuff, because not only does it make it unique, but it does amplify the energy. Anyway, so basically, yes, I do feel deeply that there are definitely some intuitive studies that are going to be going on in your life, but also not even just intuitive studies. This doesn't just have to be it doesn't just have to be metaphysics, or it doesn't just have to be the esoteric. This could be, mathematics. It could be English. It could be literature. It could be you going back to school for something. But I do feel like there's something that you're going to be learning, and throughout this learning, or at the end of it, you're still going to be creating your own path. And I feel that that's the beauty of it, because we are in a time now where things are breaking down. Now, we've predicted this. We predicted this back, I want to say, was it in 2021? I think it might have been 2021, where we predicted that there was going to be a transformation happening in the world. We talked about that, and it was on our podcast. And I actually have to go back and edit it, because I made an ignorant statement that I have to go back and fix. But either way it goes, I feel like, and by ignorant statement, I mean just miseducation, and I have to go back and correct it. So basically, I feel like even in that, though, like, it was still accurate, because right now the world is still going through a deep transformation. And I feel that with the breaking down of these big businesses, and the breaking down of these churches, with the breaking down of these cults and whatever it may be, right? I feel like this is where the community is going to come back together to say, this is what I can contribute, this is what I have to give, but also this is what I'm meant to do. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because at the time that I'm doing this reading, I believe it is August 21st, I think, on the Gregorian calendar. Yep, it's August 21st in the Gregorian calendar. So I feel like this, of course, is leading up to the full moon partial lunar eclipse happening in Pisces. And the nodes of course have switched over to Aquarius, right? So I feel like this message is bleeding into that time. And so I feel like this is the gateway. This is where you start to understand that what you're doing, what you're learning, where you're going has everything to do with the contributions that you're going to be giving to humanity. And the fact that the Hierophant is here, this is where you choose to be fully devoted, but this is also where you choose to allow the things that you've researched, the things that you find, the science of behind it all. This is what's going to withstand time. But also, I just heard the word structure and I just heard the word order. So this is where you start to research, how are things structured? How are they doing these things? Why? Because you are going to be able to utilize that same energy, that same power, but in a way that benefits people, in a way that benefits your community. Okay. I do feel also that we cannot bypass our emotional intelligence throughout this process. And no matter what you choose, what I'm hearing is that you don't want to stray too far away from the heart. The Queen of Cups here is pointing to the energy where it sees that you are someone that has such a sweet heart, such a sweet soul, and there's a depth to you that people may miss, or they may misunderstand, or they may even reject you because of it, because they don't understand it. Maybe you're, and it's so funny because this reading could easily be drawn to someone who is drawn to the light, or you would easily think that, oh well, this person's full of light, which of course you are. Or people may gravitate towards a person that appears to just be jovial and appears to be ambrosial, and they appear to be so light and things like that. But I feel that people skip you because they don't understand that the depth that you hold, the depth that you carry, you draw wisdom from spaces that people are afraid of diving into. They would recoil if they even heard the word darkness. It's like, what? Trigger. Oh my God, I'm triggered. But you draw wisdom from a space that people can't reach, or that people find themselves being stuck in. And the divine is wanting you to understand that the fact that you have this ability, this capacity, not even potential, but this capacity, because you wear it on yourself, you wear it on your spirit, you wear it through your words, right? How you show up. That's exactly what's going to make you great. And that's what's going to make people remember you. Not for the love and light and the pink and the blues, and that's great, that's great, that's cute. But at the same time, this is where you have to channel that inner authority. You have to be able to channel and wear this depth and study it and not be afraid of it. Because to be afraid of it is truly to be afraid of yourself. And we're not here to play small at all. And I feel like you're being encouraged by this Queen of Cups here. This is where you're going to start to receive a lot more abundance, a lot more clarity, a lot more joy, success, vitality, right? And I just heard the word reached your peak. I feel like you're not going to reach your peak until you're a little bit older. Honestly, you know how people say that, oh, well, when you're in your 30s, that's it. You're going to be replaced by someone younger and cuter than you. And that's just the colonizer talking, right? Like, that's just capitalism talking. That's the enemy talking, right? If we believe in enemies, like, that's the enemy talking. We're not going to believe that, because that's a way for them. I'm not even going to get started on that, because I feel like that has a lot to do with grooming and conditioning, but we ain't going to talk about that. But anyway, I think that there's a word that I'm looking for. Is it infantilization or something like that? I think I might be saying the word wrong, but let me go look up that word real quick though. It's not, we're gonna make it up. I'm just kidding. I knew it. The active process of infantilizing or treating a non-infant as an infant. It's so funny because I feel like it's that energy where people try to control and they try to have power and dominion because they want to groom you, because they want to make sure that you are sticking to a certain dogma. And it's like, no, I only get better with age, right? I only get better with age. Don't tell me that because I'm feminine, or because I'm a woman, or because I'm, older, whatever it is, that I'm losing my spark. No, baby, I'm gaining my spark, because now that I'm older, I have the emotional range, the intellectual range, the emotional capacity, right? The spiritual capacity to weather this. And because I lived it, now I can teach it. So this is where you start to step into more of the teacher aspect within yourself. And it's okay that you learn. Okay. But anyway, yes, I really do see beautiful, abundant, amazing things happening for you. Let me go ahead and see what else your tarot card had to say. Look at that. You also do have here the Nine of Pentacles that is showing up for you. And this Nine of Pentacles means that what I'm seeing is that I just heard solo. It's solo, but it's also a part of your calling. Look to see where your north node is. But I'm also hearing, it's funny that you would think that it's just the north node, but it's actually bringing me to the midheaven, and it's bringing me to Saturn, because Saturn shows you what you were tasked to do while in this life. And I know that people say, oh, Saturn, this is about karma. This is about karmic debt. You have to do this. No, it's just simply about what your calling is and what you were tasked to do. Because Saturn is a taskmaster. And when you are working with that amazing energy, I know that people like to give Saturn crap because of how they feel working with him. But being a daughter of Saturn, Saturn is going to refine the freak out of you. It will refine the heck out of you. You want greatness? You want to be seen in this world? You want to be known in this world? Where we're going to refine. We're going to see what your limitations are and how you can move past beyond your limitations, right? We're going to see where you limit yourself. See, because I'm not limiting you. I'm only showing you where you limit yourself. So this has everything to do with Saturn. This is the father of time. This is the father of longevity. Right? It's the father of responsibility. He takes things seriously, but the reason why is because he understands that this reality, right? This reality was this matrix that we believe that we're in, right? That we said that we're in. The things that we're into, sometimes these things are there to confine you. But if you decided, right, that you were going to take charge and you were going to be in your own authority, this is where you can break free because you're in your authority, and Saturn teaches you that. That's the power of Saturn. People like to twist Saturn's energy and make it this malevolent energy, and you don't want to mess with this and da 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 da. Well, yeah, because Saturn's all about protection. But Saturn, believe it or not, is all throughout institutions. Saturn is all throughout regulations. Saturn is all throughout of that. Whenever you go to a graduation ceremony, that's not just Jupiter, that's Saturn. Because Saturn is what gives you that rite of passage. You've become responsible. You show through your hard work and dedication that you are really about that life. That's the power of Saturn. That's the power of Saturn. I can go on for days about Saturn. Don't even get me started. As a matter of fact, I feel like I'm going to write about Saturn. And I may do a video about Saturn and post it here on YouTube. But why am I saying this? Because I feel like you're in doubt with something. And this is a part of your calling. So don't be afraid of the calling. Don't be afraid of the calling, because you can do this. Who better to do this than you? Don't give up on yourself before you started. I had to learn that lesson. I had to learn it. And I'm still in the space where I'm like, okay, I got this. I can do this, And that's the reason why I show up here on YouTube, despite what happened in the past. I show up on YouTube because I understand that this is what my community needs. So what about your community? What does your community need? But most of all, what do you need? What do you need? And you welcome that energy in. And remember that you are taken care of throughout this process. This Queen of Cups here is taking care of you throughout this process. You are protected throughout this process. You are protected. And this is a new journey, a new venture that I'm hearing that the divine really wants you to put your all into. Because this is how you make it right. If you're talking about a karmic debt, this is how you repay the karmic debt, if you will. And I just heard there is no debt. Debt is an illusion. This is just simply what you came here to do, because you are giving life purpose. And when you allow yourself to give life purpose, you see the difference. You see the change. You are the change. As remembered, so embodied. And I always want you to remember that. As remembered, so embodied. The more you remember, the more you embody, the more you're able to expand your consciousness, the more you're able to transcend beyond the suffering, the more you're able to manifest. And by transcending beyond the pain and suffering, I don't mean by spiritual bypassing. I mean by dealing with it, living in it, understanding it, and not allowing it to shape you into something that you do not recognize. See, that's the beauty of this. And I'm on a tangent. That's the beauty of this. Because see, this mermaid here is aware. This is self-awareness. This is what the mirror is really showing me. This is who I really am. And this is what I'm really here about to do. And I'm stepping out, not even just on faith, but divine, knowing that this is my mission. And nothing will pass me by, because this is the mission. And I stand knees deep in that. I love this for you. You have so many blessings coming. Happy family. You have happy family here. You also have all tied up. Saturn is here. And an envy. Oh yes. Yeah, we definitely have to dive into this. So you also do have here unfinished symphony. The work is not done yet. See, this is carried over from lifetimes. You're not done yet. See, this is the reason why Saturn came through this reading, because you're not done. Which way do I choose? Where do I go? How do I get there? What's going on? All these thoughts and ideas, making it complicated, more complicated than it has to be. Right? And I'm not saying you're doing that, or you may very well be doing that. Let's just say if there's just a sense of confusion, this is why you must listen to your heart. That's the reason why you have here this beautiful motherly energy saying, listen, I'm here to protect you. I'm here to guide you. But in order for me to guide you, you have to listen to what your heart is saying. Follow the North Node. Follow the star. Because this is not finished yet. You may feel debilitated. I don't think I can do this. I feel like if I do this, that I'm going to get into this type of trouble. Or if I feel like if I do this, that somehow I'm going to fail. What? You're not going to fail. You're not going to fail. You can't fail life. You cannot fail life. Your life is happening according to your divine plan. You cannot fail your life. That is the way the divine is speaking. I know that we see things like, oh, well, you turn to this and you turn to that and you're doing mess up things with your life. But what if that's the life that you wanted to live? So if that's the life that you wanted to live, how are you really failing? You live the life that you want to live. And this is a space of empowerment. And I feel like you're being empowered here. So whenever you feel lost, what I want you to remember is that when you tune into yourself, into your own inner wisdom, you will never be lost, because all roads lead back to the divine, and you will always come home to the divine. And that's what this is all about. It's just a different way to get there. That's it. There is not one way to express this universe, this energy that we all experience. There is not one way. There are several ways, several pathways, and several different ways to choose. But you choose what is most resonant. You'll feel it in your body. This feels right. I can't explain it. How do I know that I'm on the right spiritual path? I don't know. Nothing makes sense. But when I feel it, when I'm in my body, when I feel like I'm in the presence of this person, or when I see this thing, my body responds to it. I feel it deeply. I feel a pull. It's magnetic. I can't explain this, but this is for me. I got a story time behind that before I came to Virginia. I'll share it later. Just remind me. But you'll feel it. It's a magnetic pull. You can't explain it yet, but you feel it. That's how you know you're on the right path, and everything else. And all you have to do is say, divine, if this is really for me, show me. Show me the way. Give me the resources. Give me the tools. Make it available, and I will go that way. And you'll see. And you will see. Now, if I were going to work with anything, it will definitely be divine guidance. 100% hands down. It will be divine guidance, and it will also be with Saturn. With Saturn. Saturn is not as terrible as an energy as people think. People who act irresponsibly and are afraid of consequence are the ones who will tell you, no, don't work with Saturn. You can't avoid Saturn. You can't avoid any of these energies, to be honest with you. And they all play out in our lives differently. Now, wherever Saturn falls into your chart is a way that his energy is going to play out and manifest in your life, or where you're called to implement his lessons in your life, right? Whatever sign he falls in, whatever house he falls in, that's exactly where you're going to implement his wisdom. And that can also permeate throughout the other parts of your life as well. If you allow it, so you will it. Okay? Come to the edge. This is the Fool. I know that things seem scary, but if you trusted the universe, if you trusted yourself, really, if you trusted your guides, if you came to the edge, there's a safety net there. And not even just that, you will fly. That's so corny. That's corny, but that's fine. My ego's like, this is so corny, but my soul is like, who cares? You know that I don't even want to reference that song, man. I don't even want to reference the song because I don't care about the artist. Oh, I don't care about the art. I don't care about the artist, but you know that one song, I Believe I Can Fly. Oh my God, why am I saying this on the internet? Somebody's probably gonna give me shit. I hope not. But anyway, anyway, yes, that's the song that's coming through. Somebody may so resonate with it, okay? That's the song coming through. I Believe I Can Fly. All right. I'm not gonna go listen to that. No judgment if you are at all, but it's about just simply the belief and the knowing I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna soar high. I'm going to soar high. I don't know why that song came through. Maybe that's, that's the way that you get through life, and that's all right. No judgment here in this space. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you. That's one thing you will not find here. I'm not going to judge someone for, their music choice, because everything is what it is in your life. You know what I mean? If you're not spreading harm, amongst yourself or other people, there really is no need for anybody to, impede on what you're doing. Right? Do what thou wilt, but harm none. And that's if you believe in that. I'm not going to enforce my beliefs on you. I'm not going to do that. But what I will say, though, is that you always have divine direction. And I feel like this envy, why do I not? And then also, one last thing here, and I know that we're getting a little bit wordy, and I'm going to let you go. With this envy here, instead of looking to see who will approve of this? I don't know why it's coming through this way, but who will approve of this? They have this. Why don't I have that? Why can't I be this, this way? Or why can't this? And it's like, listen, no, you don't have to be that way. Also, I just heard that eyes are on you. I feel, wow, okay, protection. So I do feel that there is protection that is needed, because there are people who are watching you who don't say things to you. They know, oh my God, the spirit is calling them the watcher. It's a person or a group of people. I'm seeing there's one, and then I just heard there's more than 10. And between 1 and 10, there are people that watch you who know what you've been through, who know you've been through the mud, who know that you've been through hell and back. And they're just like, I wonder if they're going to make it. I wonder if they're going to do this. But then secretly hoping that you don't make it, because they know that you're going to end up making it, but it makes them feel insecure about themselves. That's not your business. What spirit is saying, get to stay in your lane, and you are divinely protected. So protection work is absolutely needed. Protection work. If you feel that all you have is a few dollars, what you can do is you can go down to the dollar store, Dollar General, whatever store you have, get a white candle. You're going to cleanse it, right? Using some salt water. If all you have is some salt and some spring water at home, you can do that. Get you some salt, put it in that water, and you talk to the divine, you bliss the water, and you go ahead and you dunk that candle into the water. You wipe it off and all that good stuff, and then you just say a prayer over that white candle if that's all you can do. Right? If you don't have the means right now to invest in a protection candle from the Ethereum, you can do that. You can use a tea light candle if that's all you have. You can use the power of the fire within yourself if that's all you have, right? If that's all you have. But either way it goes, I feel like protection and energy is needed. But also, again, this is also to say you don't have to think about what you don't have that you believe other people do have, right? So don't get so caught up in the reflection of others that you become the shadow. You don't want to live in someone else's shadow. So know that this is a time in your life where you are being given divine direction. And I really do believe in that for you, if you would just trust. And the moment you feel stuck, reach out to your guides. They will guide you. But this is a new journey. You have a lot of amazing energy, a lot of amazing success coming for you in the future. And it is here now. Just declare it. I declare it. I am successful. I am patient. I am divine. I am love. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am luxurious. You are luxurious. You are love. You are healthy. You are wealthy. You are divine. And you are always divinely guided, guarded, and protected with everything you do and everywhere you go. So you will it, so it is. I love you very much. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to this video and to listen to your reading. I hope that you got what you needed, and I hope that you received love, support, and all things divine that you possibly need today. I am thankful for you. I am grateful. I love you. Take care, and I'll catch you in my next video.